Hello viewers, this is a presentation of ISO 9001-2015 Internal Auditor Training. This is a remote training module and is suitable for those who have some background of ISO 9001 either through implementation or auditing their own organization or have interest in knowing about ISO 9001-2015 but did not have an opportunity or time to formally undergo the training. Here you can undertake the training at your own pace and convenience. Now let us look at what ISO exactly stands for. ISO stands for International Organization for Standardization. It doesn't stand for International Standardization Organization or Indian Standardization Organization or anything of that sort. It is ISO is International Organization for Standardization. It is headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland. It was duly formed and began its official functions in February 1947. It is a worldwide federation of the national standard bodies, independent non-governmental international organization has a membership of 164 national standard bodies. India is represented through BIS. BIS is Bureau of Indian Standards. Now, ISO has published a number of standards, and one of the most important standards they have published is 9000 series. ISO 9000 series was first published in 1987, and since then it has undergone 4 revisions, one in 1994, then 2000, then 2008, and now finally in 2015. It's widely accepted as a basis for the organization to provide confidence to their customers and to others of their ability to understand the customer and the statutory and regulatory requirements. To systematically provide the products and services to meet these requirements. There are now over 1 million organizations worldwide that are certified to ISO 9001. Now let's see what exactly is quality. Quality may mean different to different people. Quality may mean faultless manufacture or service. It may mean punctual delivery or fitness for purpose. That means it is suitable for what exactly you want for, and many more. Quality is defined as degree to which a set of inherent characteristics of an object fulfills the requirement. This is as per ISO 9000-2015 section 362. Now what are the characteristics? Characteristics are distinguishing features. Now the distinguishing features or the characteristics can be inherent. Inherent like physical, for example, mechanical, weight, density, length, width, diameter, etc. Or it can be electrical, capacitance, power, chemical, pH, specific gravity, purity, biological, or it can be sensory, that is related to smell, touch, taste, sight, or hearing. It can be behavior like courtesy, honesty, etc., as you may find in case of hotel or hospitality sector. Now, in contrary to the characteristics which are inherent. There can be acquired characteristics, example price, but this is not considered in case of definition of the quality as per ISO 9001:2015. Another thing comes here is the object. Object means product, services, process, person, organization, system, resource, etc. Requirements, need or expectation that is stated, generally implied or obligatory. Many of the requirements are stated, but however there are some requirements although not stated, they are implied, as well as there can be some statutory requirements like IS mark for a particular product, a heating element of a geyser, for example, or a cable wire. These fields should have the IS marks. These are also requirements. Simply stated, an organization should have specifications for the product services it provides, and the same should be complied. There should be specifications for each product or each service, and I should be complied as per the requirements of ISO 9001:2015. One of the significant features of ISO 9001:2015 or any of the recently revised management system standards like 14,001:2015 or 45,001:2018, etc., is the high level structure or HL. Now, what is HLS or the high level structure? High level structure, it is according to ISO directives Annex SL. It incorporates the recommendations of the JTCG work. JTCG stands for Joint Technical Coordination Group. As recommended by them, there is a common structure and format for all the new ISO management system standards and the revisions to the existing standards. What's the advantage of that? There is a common text. Approximately 30% or more of each of the standard will be identical text in all the standards. Significant impact on the revisions of the ISO 9001, 14001 and 45001 or any other management system standards. In all the revisions, this directive will be applicable. Now, what are the features of high level structure? High level structure is a standardized way of drafting future ISO management system standards. All the new standards should respect and share a common consistent core. For example, all the standards must have a common framework like table of contents, chapters, etc. Standardized text, shared clauses and titles, common terms and definitions. Whilst the high-level structure cannot be changed, the subclauses and the discipline-specific text can be changed. With the new structure applicable to all the new ISO management system standards, it will be much easier to implement multiple integrated management systems. That is, most of the organizations today are implementing more than one management system standard, that is ISO 9001:2015 and also 14,001:2015 and or 45,000:2018. So when all these standards are implemented together, it becomes easier when there is something common, like the high level structure. Then it becomes easier to implement all the standards together, and it is also audited as the IMS or the integrated management systems. Now let us summarize the NXL high-level structure. It standardizes the system standards, management system standards like 9001, 14001, 45001, etc. There is a prescribed structure, identical requirement and text, common terms and core definitions. It facilitates integration of the multiple management system standards into an organization's management system. That is one management system, and it will have multiple management system standards together implemented. Now, in addition to the requirements, at the end of each standard of this, there is what is called as the NXA. NXA is informative. Now, for example, it gives the clarification of the new structure, terminology, and concepts. Because whenever a new standard is introduced, there are new requirements made, and it is liable to be interpreted or misinterpreted by different people in different ways. Now, it contains A1, for example, ISO 9001 2015, Annex A contains A1 structure and terminology, A2 production services, A3 understanding the needs and expectations, A4 risk-based thinking, and so on. There are total 8 A8 up to A8 annexes. Now the main purpose of this Annex A is explanatory information intended to prevent misinterpretation. Now the high level structure of ISO 9001-2015 is given here. 1. Scope. 2. Normative references. 3. Terms and definitions. 4. Context of the organization, and so on. There are total 10 requirements or the clauses. Out of these, some of the text is marked black. These are the core management requirement, management system requirement. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, like scope, normative references, terms, definitions, context of the organization, etc. These are there in each of the standards. Then what is red? These are the new management system standards, like understanding the organization and its context, understanding the needs and expectations of the interested parties, then actions to address risks and opportunities, post-delivery control of change. All these have been introduced as a new requirement. Earlier, this requirement was not there. Now, what is there in the green? This is specific to ISO 9001 requirements only, for this standard only. For example, in ISO 9001-2015, there is a quality management system and its processes. In environmental management system, instead of quality, it will be environmental management system and its processes. Instead of quality policy, in ISO 9001-2015, there will be environmental policy and health and safety policy in case of 14001. So that is the change. Let's see the core concepts of ISO 9001-2015. Core concepts are process approach, plan, do, check, act cycle, that is PDCA, risk-based thinking, and improvement. So there are 4 core concepts are there: process approach, PDCA cycle, risk-based thinking, and improvement. What is process approach? Process approach enables the organization to plan its processes and interactions. What is PDCA cycle? PDCA cycle, or the plan, do, check, act cycle, ensures its processes are adequately resourced and managed. Then comes the risk-based thinking. It enables the organization to determine the factors that could cause its processes and its QMS, quality management system, to deviate from its planned results, to put in place preventive controls to minimize the negative effects, make use of the opportunities as they arise. Those of you who are familiar with the ISO 9001, 2000 or 2008 version, they will be remembering there was one clause on preventive action. Now that clause is not there in ISO 9001 2015. Instead, it has been replaced by risk-based thinking concept. Then improvement can be correction, continual improvement, breakthrough change, innovation, and reorganization. These are the concepts, core concepts. Now let us go into details of the process approach. If you see the figure, on the left side there is the external customer who gives the input. External customer is always external. In this case, gives the inputs. The input could be A, input B, etc. To process A, process B, and there is an input C out of the two processes. So again, at the right side there is a customer. That means customer gets what he wants, and there is a feedback from the customer. Again, it is taken into consideration for the improvement. Now, if you check the PDCA cycle and if you compare it with the clauses of ISO 9001 2015, you will see that the clauses 5 and 6, that is the leadership and planning, they correspond to plan. That is the P of the PDCA cycle. Then support and operation, clause 7 and 8, they correspond to do, that is D of the PDCA cycle. Clause 9, performance evaluation, it is check. Then clause 10 is the improvement, that corresponds to the act, that is the A of the PDCA cycle. This is how the clauses of the ISO 9001 2015 are made to represent each of the PDCA cycle. Plan, what to do, how to do it, do what was planned, check, did anything go wrong, did the things happen according to the plan, then act, if so, how to improve the next time. This is how the cycle goes on, and this leads to continuous improvement. This is another way of writing the same PDCA cycle, same plan, do, check, and act. Clauses 7 and 8 support, clauses 9 performance evaluation, 10 improvement, 6 is planning. Organization outside, you can see that organization and its context, that is clause number 4, needs and expectations of the relevant interested parties, clause 4. And on the other side, customer satisfaction and the products and services. These are the results of the QMS. Now, in any organization, there is already a system involved. They are working according to a system and they are getting what they want. Otherwise, they would not have survived the business. So, when we are looking into the implementation of the ISO 9001 2015, we may have to look into the gap analysis. Gap analysis means most of the requirements of ISO 9001 2015 might have been already satisfied by the organization, but a few are not. Now, those which are in the red, if you see, are generally not complied. For example, context of the organization, policy, planning, internal audit, management review. This is as per our experience. So, first we have to identify the gaps and see how these can be fulfilled. Now, risk-based thinking. Risk-based thinking, what is risk? Effect of uncertainty on an expected result. There is always a result expected from every action, but it is possible that it may not happen. There will be a factor of uncertainty. This is called risk, and the effect, that is a deviation from the expected deviation, can be positive or negative. This is the effect. Uncertainty means state, even partial, of the deficiency of the information related to understanding or knowledge of an event, its consequence or likelihood. Now, risk-based analysis thinking enables the organization to determine the factors that could cause its processes and its quality management system to deviate from its planned results, to put in place the preventive controls, to minimize the negative effects, and to make use of the opportunities as they arise. As I told earlier, in the earlier versions, there was a clause called preventive action, which is not there here, and that is replaced by the risk-based thinking. What are opportunities? When there are risks, some opportunities arise. Opportunities can arise as a result of situation favorable to achieving the results. For example, develop new products and services, reduce waste, improve the productivity. These could be the opportunities. What the organization intends to achieve by implementing its quality management system, which includes consistently provide products and services that meets the customer and the applicable regulatory requirements and enhance customer satisfaction. If we check the Annex A4 of the ISO 9001:2015, it makes certain points clear regarding the risk-based thinking. It says, although the clause 6.1 specifies that the organization shall plan actions to address the risks, there is no requirement for the formal methods for risk management or a documented risk management process. That means it doesn't specify, the standard doesn't specify any particular formal method of risk management, or it doesn't say that a documented risk management process should be available. Organizations can decide whether or not to develop a more extensive risk management methodology than is required by 9001 through the application of other guidance or standards. That means although the standard doesn't specify any formal methods for the risk management methodology, an organization can decide on their own and implement the risk management methods outside the standard from other standards or through other guidance standards available. For example, there is FMEA, that is the failure mode effects analysis, or ISO 31000, which also gives the formal risk management techniques. Now, this is a caution for auditors, because although the ISO standard doesn't specify the formal methods of the risk management, an organization can opt to do it. So, our auditors are required to know these formal methods like FMEA or other methods of risk analysis, could be SWOT analysis, SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Okay. These are the methods, although not within the framework of the ISO 9000:2015, the client or an organization may opt to adopt these, and hence the auditor need to know these also. Let's recap what we have learned. 1. High-level structure. Advantage, uniformity of structure for all the management system standards. Second, process approach enables the organization to plan its processes and interactions. Third, PDCA cycle or plan, do, check, act cycle, which ensures its processes are adequately resourced and managed. Fourth is the risk-based approach, risks and opportunities, no requirement for the formal methods. And last is improvement, which could be continual or whatever.